Well, I just turned 31 and I wanted to do a video about the things that I've seen and experienced and just how things have changed over the last, say, 10 years of my life since I was 20 or whatever. And I guess this could also be an introduction to some of the videos that I'm going to be making in the near future. I say one a week. I'll say one a week, but who knows when they'll actually come. But just over the last 10 years of my life, I have seen false flags and chemtrails and been aware of genetically modified food and aware of the fluoride that's poisoning our water, and government tyranny is going through the roof. The police state that you see, the unjust wars, the bashing of everyone who's different, and the fear campaigns that go on against sandal wearing brown people. Be afraid. This Islamophobia is just ridiculous. While they want to condemn all these countries that we've invaded, when Israel is dropping phosphorus bombs on Gaza. Nobody wants to talk about that because of obviously the Zionist run media that infects even Canada here. You've got our Prime Minister, Stephen Harper, who is silencing scientists and putting creationists at the head of scientific research government agencies. And it's just insane the way that we've seen this world just go to absolute shit, and people are just going along with it, whatever. Oh, my life isn't really affected. Well, yeah, your life is affected. Because when the currency is poisoned to such a degree that a loaf of bread goes up and up and up, and a tank of gas goes up and up and up, and you have to work extra hard to pay your bills, and you have no time to raise your family, so then your kids grow up to be entitled little shits, and this nanny state where everyone's got to be treated equally. It's just we're raising a nation of just pussies. Like it's horrible. There's nothing that isn't touched. It's the media that used to be owned by over 40 companies, and now it's only owned by 4. So everything that you see and hear in your entire life is only coming from 4 companies. The consolidation of agriculture, where you've got this evil entity called Monsanto just poisoning the food that we eat. And now we have to actually, if we actually want to be healthy, we have to grow it ourselves, or we have to look for organic food. Like why should we have to put a special label on our food to say that it's safe to eat, that it's not genetically modified, that it's not going to cause infertility or sterility, that it's not going to cause tumors, that it's not inherently poison? You know what they called organic 100 years ago? Food. And we don't eat food anymore. We don't just drink water anymore. This lie that fluoride somehow protects your teeth is complete bullshit. Look that up. Complete bullshit. Fluoride is absolute poison. Destroys your pineal gland. It causes you to be apathetic and bored. And so that, when martial law comes to your town, you don't fight back because you're just, nah. Maybe they won't hurt me. Please don't hurt me. They want to take away people's guns so they can't defend themselves. Yeah, people say that, oh, well, with all the bombs that they have, if they really wanted to, take over and government tyranny and all that, that your guns are useless anyways. And that may be so. But that's not the way they wage war. And we've seen it over the last 100 years that that's not the way they wage war. They wage it slowly. They plant seeds. They use scapegoats. They do this over and over and over again. And for someone who is actually watching, it's obvious. For someone who actually looks at a scenario and will say, okay, this is what the mainstream media is saying. What do the facts say? What is independent media saying? Because we've seen CNN, ABC, Fox, NBC, all these ridiculous arms of the Zionist-controlled media are all saying the same thing. Now, if there's real journalism going on, you would see different sides to a story. You would see variation, but we don't see variation. We get very contrived information. And I don't know, it's just, these are some of the things that I want to do videos on, being more specific to these separate topics. Yeah, I'm going to talk about religion around the world. I'm going to talk about the food supply. I'm going to talk about wars. I'm going to talk about banking. Banking is huge. Think of the countries that we are taught to hate. Taught by the media, by our governments. We're taught to hate these because they're supposedly bad people. And then correlate that with who, let's say in 2000, who didn't have a Rothschilds owned central bank, and who still doesn't have it, and which countries have recently acquired one, and why. Because all these countries that you were taught to hate, the terrorists, the terrorizers, it's all bullshit. It's all for control of the money supply, and it's wrong. And the only thing that I really fear, I don't fear my neighbors. I wish all my neighbors had guns, because then if something actually did happen in this neighborhood, I know I'd be protected. The only thing that actually scares me is having militarized police bashing in my door looking for something completely different, or bashing in my door looking for somebody else who might have something completely ridiculous, and then shooting one of my cats or someone in my family because we're simply protecting our house from armed invaders paid for by my tax dollars. And this is an epidemic. And anyone who thinks that it's okay is very much asleep, because this is not okay. It's not right. It's not good to take away anybody's right. If you're not hurting anybody else, then you have no right to take away the freedoms of an individual. So these are just some of the things that I want to talk about over the next while, and I would be really interested as to your feedback and questions, and I will definitely respond as much as I can. And all right, peace.